I didn't want to take him. I didn't want to really catch him off guard, but I'm still going to give him crap. What's up,
Well,
Coach?
listen, first things first, y'all know I'm on CPT time, right? So it's a little bit longer than normal. So I'm sorry. But also do know that I'm also a basketball trainer, and I had to.
You have a real job?
I'm dealing with, revenue sharing of a kid and talking to parents and coaches. So I was a little busy with
You
that.
didn't tell them, oh, I told Ariel I would be on her show today. Gotta get home.
I mean, technically, I signed on
In
at
fact, you
5:34.
invited yourself on the show today.
Fucking right, I did. I invited myself.
Coach said 5:30 Tuesday and Thursday. I said yes.
Yeah, I mean, listen. At the end of the day, hey, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here for the people. Good afternoon, people. How are you all today?
The chat was waiting for you.
Well, listen. It's the struggle is real, Ariel. You know how it is. Kids training. I had basketball camp. The kids were driving me crazy as hell today, but hey, it's not important. We got a big WNBA slate on tonight. Obviously the everybody wants to know what's going on with Angel Reese, and is she coming back? And I think she did practice yesterday, or she's starting to work out a little bit.
No, it's annoying me because there's a prop I like if she's not playing.
Oh, I'll tell you right now. Hey, there's a prop I like right now if she's not playing. You all know what it is. I'm fading that team. That team is. You can pull up my plays right now. I'll go down one first. Storm -11 versus Chicago. Now, people are looking at me and be like, Coach, whoa, wait. They're 2-8 against the spread, right? The Storm. But those are all close losses. Phoenix, Atlanta, twice. The Sparks, who are playing well. Vegas is hot. The Lynx, the Fever, who was playing well at that point. Those games they lost against the spread were not against teams that were terrible. Now, you look at Chicago, they're 1-9 against the spread their last 10 games. 6 out of their 9 losses are by double digits. And the 2 games, the last time they played, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Seattle beat them by like 30. So if Angel Reese is not playing, I'm going to lay the 11 tonight with the Seattle Storm.
I've got another play for you. I love that the chat's just blowing up right now. First of all, my favorite's AOD saying I would be point guard for Coach.
I'll tell you, AOD, listen, I mean, I know I'm the unk, but I'll tell you now, point guards get utter fucking hell for me. I yell, scream, I yell at point guards the most because the point guard is the extension of the coach. I think that's very important to look at that. So speaking of guards, let's go to PRA. Veronica Burton over 19.5 PRA. Over 3 of the last 5. 2 games versus Phoenix, she's gone over it. Phoenix is in the middle of the pack defensively, and this team, the Valkyries, still to me is the best story in the W because can they find a way to make the playoffs? I think that's such a big storyline, and she's kind of taken on more of responsibility since Thornton went out. So look at over 19.5 of Veronica Burton PRA tonight. And by the way, folks, I'm telling you this right now, Ariel pushes this all the time. I am constantly looking at props.cash. I'm constantly looking at them. And what's really great about this site is the fact that they give you stuff literally the day before. A lot of other places, you got to wait the day of to kind of get information. They go and they give it to you the day before. Sooner lines are out, they're giving you predictions. So if you are not using prop.cash, go to Ariel's page, find the promo code, and go download it. Please, I will tell you, I use that site daily to make my picks. And I'm not even getting paid by the company. I just believe in the company that much.
Yeah, it's a great site. And that's why I ended up seeing this play in case we don't have Angel Reese tonight. Look at these numbers for Camila Cardozo without Angel Reese when she's at home for points, rebounds, and assists. And she's getting a team that's really been struggling in rebounding lately. So I was thinking against a team that's bottom 10 in rebounds allowed, Cardozo should at least be able to make up for some of this by grabbing some boards, going over her points, rebounds, and assists without Angel Reese.
When you look at Camila Cardozo, you're absolutely right, Ariel. She's basically 2 different players with or without. Camila Cardozo right now getting about 12.8 points per game, 8.2 rebounds. But if you kind of look at the last a couple of games. The Valkyries 14-4. That's under. That's 18, right? Connecticut Sun, she got to 31. Under against Indiana. Under against Atlanta. But when you get some of these other teams, Washington, not a strong rebounding team, right? The Valkyries, she got to 25. You're right. It's all about whether Angel is there. Because when Angel is there, you have what we call a double barrel post, which means you have two people on the low block, which means the spacing is poor for scoring, but also you have another big in there for rebounding. So that's why I think it's important that what Ariel's saying, wait to see what happens. And if you look at the flip side, right, when you look at Chicago, going against a team like Seattle, Megaber, Gabby Williams, Awumage, the Wookie Malanga's getting playtime. Those are 4 quality bigs. Cardoso has the rebound, not just because of the fact that she's a great rebounder at 6'7", 6'8", but she's got to keep those kids off the boards. So without Angel Reese, that is something you may want to wait for just to get for the starting lineup. Usually Ariel by about 30 minutes. What they do in the WNBA, which I wish they did, the NBA does, is NBA, just so you know, when you guys get to the season, I'm sure I'll be on during the year, on the 30, every hour, they have to update their injury report. The WNBA, and it's right on the NBA's website. I don't think the WNBA has that yet, but if you go to somewhere like Underdog WNBA on Twitter, they do a good job of updating things as they come in, and it's pretty accurate. It's usually pretty fast.
So let's keep an eye out, see if Angel Reese ends up playing. And before we get to the rest of your plays, we did have a question in the chat. I think it was Sean Michael. Yeah, it was. Need your comment on Mabry and her classy gesture towards Sophie.
Okay, and shout out to you, Sean, because I actually saw the tweet you sent to me, and I'm almost 49, so I'm not the greatest. When I tweeted back, I actually went to the tweet that you commented on, and not off for yours. I have known Marina, Dara, who is a little sister that played at Notre Dame, Michaela, who's now on the bench at Notre Dame. Shout out to Patty Mabry. I've known her forever. She's one of the great trainers down here like myself. Let me tell you something. The Mabrys, and I swear to you, are stone cold fucking killers. On the floor, they will kill you. They will beat them. They'll beat each other up to win a game. But I swear to you, after the game, it's all love. They have a ton of respect for the game. They have a ton of respect for the other players. Listen, at the end of the day, like you go at one of Marina's teammates, she's going to go after you. So that's why that whole Caitlin Clark thing blew up, is because of that. But at the end of the day, what you saw after the game, when she ran over to Kelsey Mitchell and congratulated her, and for her to put that towel to kind of protect Sophie's face so no one could see her reaction of getting hurt, I'll tell you right now, you can be a killer off on the court and be a good person off of it. And that's what Marina Mabry is.
Like Pedro Martinez. He's an absolute killer on the field and a gem of a human when he's off of it. We've got to follow up on Burton. 4.5 assists. You like the over?
Yeah, that's another way, Joe, you can do it. Joe Dollar Bill. I like that name. I should change my name to JY Dollar. I'm going to take that. But yeah, if you pull up, if you go at the props out cash Ariel, if you want to pull it up, I'm going to pull up as well. When you go look at, someone like Burton, let's see if I can find her. Can I find Burton? Why am I not finding her? Here she is. Okay, so if you look at Burton, you kind of dig in, right? 4 of the last 5 games, right? She's gone over her assist prop, and she hasn't even been close, right? 7 in a 10 assist game. You then look at obviously the 2 assist game at Chicago. Chicago is god awful, right? Phoenix versus Golden State should be a matchup that could make sense for you. So to me, I would look at Burton. I just put all 3 of her together because she's got to do a little bit of everything. But if you're asking me one, Joe, if I would just say 0 on one of them for tonight, it would be Burton to go over her assist prop.
So assist prop, what do you want to see here?
Yeah, I just want to see her assist prop for Veronica Burton. Let me make sure I have it right here.
Well, this one says 5.5 on props.cash. So
okay, so I would be shopping around because when I look at props.cash, I had 4.5. So that's the other thing, folks. Do shop around. But you can find you can find better prices at different sports books if you jump on it early. So if it's 4.5, Joe, absolutely yes. If it's a 5.5, I would stay away or go to the points, rebounds, and assists.
All right, so we've got the Mystic team total over 81.5. Why?
Well, listen, Ariel, they are over the last 4 games, and they've been really secretly good offensively, even with trading Brittany Sykes. If you look at since August 1st, number 5 in offensive rating, number 3 in assist to turnover ratio, number 4 in rebounding percentage. That means they're securing rebounds and getting out and run. Number 2 in effective field goal shooting percentage, and number 2 in true shooting percentage. 2 games they've had so far this year versus Connecticut, 104 and 90. 4 out of the last 6 opponents for the Connecticut Sun have gone over their 81.5 points. The 2 that didn't, Golden State Valkyries, who never play fast, and Chicago Sky, who fucking suck without Angel Reese. I mean, well, they just suck, period. They just suck even worse.
Yeah, they're just even worse. Before we get to the aces, I'm very curious about this because, I'm not the biggest WNBA follower. Why are we seeing the Lynx and the Liberty playing for a third straight time?
Because they're stupid. They're absolutely stupid.
So weird.
Ariel, they're going to play all 4 times after the All-Star break. They're going to play 3 times in a week. And if you think about it, they went weekend, and then Friday night. No, they did
Sunday, August 10th, Saturday, August 16th, and now Tuesday, August 19th.
So what they were doing, Ariel, is they were capitalizing on the fact that they thought that those 2 teams were going to be at the top of the WNBA schedule, and you played them late in the year because, honestly, maybe they didn't know how good Caitlin Clark was going to be. And this is why you have to worry about the WNBA and their schedule. When you do this, you're going to put yourself in the binds and positions where it just doesn't look good, right? 3 times in a week between the 2 top teams, and the Liberty are not playing as a top 2 team right now, and that's because of the injury to Breanna Stewart. And I think just really quick there with that game, I just have a feeling that the Liberty are going to win that game tonight. The first game was bad. The second game, they were winning late third quarter, and then the wheels fell off. And then the last game was really nip and tuck to the last minute. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the Liberty at home if you ask me on a money line. But the one play I like most on the Liberty is Double J, Jonquel Jones, over 13.5 points, over in 10 of the last 13 games. Now, 2 to 3 unders were against the Minnesota Lynx, but you had 17 last game, versatile center. I would be more concerned about taking it if Napheesa Collier was playing. I don't think Napheesa Collier is playing. And that's the other story is when are we going to get Napheesa Collier back? When are we going to get Breanna Stewart back? When are we going to get Caitlin Clark back? We just saw the news about Sophie Cunningham tearing her, or I think her MCL, so she's going to be out for the remainder of the year. Star players are out in the WNBA, and that's going to bode a big deal. This is a secretly big game for the Liberty tonight, Ariel, because I do believe they could slip all the way to 4th with a loss tonight.
Listen, and their rebounding's been terrible. They're the worst rebounding team in the league at the moment, so I'm taking advantage of that. There's a lot of issues and a lot of holes for the reigning champs, and I feel like when you've got even Ionescu, who has a bad matchup tonight, you see the same team 3 times in a row, who's the best defensive team in the WNBA. It's really hard to repeat, but it's showing down the stretch of the season.
Yeah, it really is, and the Liberty they're just a mess. It's funny, like the Liberty. Everybody's going to talk about like Jonquel going down when they were undefeated, right? Which was a big hit. Then Stewie goes down. A big part of why the Liberty are also not playing well is people forget Benaja Laney Hamilton. BLH was a great 3-and-D player that they lost. Remember, she got hurt and unrivaled. Now, rumor is I think she started to practice. So I don't know if you'll see Benaja Laney Hamilton come back, but she's another piece to that team. The Liberty, I'm not going to be able to evaluate fully if they can win the championship until I see them whole and how Sandy Bordello uses it. Is she going to bring Emma Messman off the bench, or is she going to go, honestly, bring Fibich off the bench and go with Cloud, Ionescu, Messman, Stewie, Jonquel, or does she do the crazy thing is bring Natasha Cloud off the bench and go 5'9", 6'4", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". That is monstrous. So it'll be interesting to see. But right now, they are the best team in the league, the Minnesota Lynx. But I have a feeling tonight that I'm going to say, if you ask me, the Liberty find a way to pull it out. But I like the John Quell over 13.5 points better.
And then you've got Aces money line and Lloyd 3 or more made threes. Why?
People are looking at the Vegas Aces and seeing that this is finally the team that we thought we were getting, right? Vegas 9-1 against spread last 10. Atlanta 7-1 against the spread. Both teams are playing really good basketball. People are going to look at the fact that, Vegas has played a soft schedule. Even their win versus the Liberty were playing on a second leg of a back-to-back after, going and putting up, I think, 109, 110 points versus Sparks. I don't care. There are two things that has happened with that team that I don't think people are giving enough credit for. Number one is putting Jewel Lloyd off on the bench. And I'll do Jewel Lloyd's prop right now, which is I've been telling you, I think, Ariel, if you remember, I've been saying, I came on last week, I said, if they hang Jewel Lloyd's 3-point prop at 1.5, you got to take it every time.
Well, if you're getting 3 or more, then that's probably like minus 200.
It's minus 178, minus 180. So either you're going to do one or two things, right? You're going to pay the juice to get to 2, or you're going to take a chance and she gets to 3. I'm going to take a chance. Over in 6 out of her last 7 games, she's gotten 3+ made threes. Atlanta, middle of the road at 3-point shooting percentage, but now, because they come off the bench, she is shooting a ton of threes. 7 out of her last 10 games, Ariel, Jewel Lloyd has attempted 7 or more threes. So if I get her to go 3 for 7, which is under 50%, which is what she's capable of, I'm going to take that chance. But there's games she's taken 9, 10, 11 3-pointers. So to me, Jewel Lloyd 3+ made threes at plus, I think so, plus 180, plus 182, shop around. But if you want to just pay the juice, I wouldn't mind it going over 1.5 made threes at like a minus 180, and then I would just maybe parlay it with something and try and get yourself to the window that way.
I've got one more question before I let you go. I saw Satu Sablé under 19.5 points plus assists tonight for Phoenix. And I really liked this prop because you're getting a good matchup for her to take this under. On the road, she's averaging just over 16 points and assists. She's facing one of the best defenses in the league, and Golden State have allowed forwards 61% to go under their points and assist prop. Thoughts on Satu Sablé going up against this really good Valkyries D?
It's funny you brought that up because I was trying to find something in that game, and I couldn't touch it. I couldn't touch it because of the defense. Golden State, I mean, I don't think people understand. Like, they grind your gears. They make you work every possession. And you're right. If you start digging up there, 20% in the last 10 games, head to head. Yes, she's had one matchup where she got to 24. Guys, that was June the 5th. So much has changed with Golden State, particularly with the injury to Kayla Thornton. They've kind of slowed the game down a little bit. So to me, I would always be scary of taking any kind of over in Golden State against Golden State because I just think they're too good.
But this is an under.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If I were to do anything, this would be a heavy lean on taking the under right there in that matchup tonight because I just think that team's too good defensively. And they walk the ball up the floor and they really push you, to really do things you don't want to do. And if you kind of even dig deeper, right, with the Golden State Valkyries defense, they're second in points allowed per game and are fourth least assist. So where are you getting it from? And if you even dig deeper, right, you start looking at Golden State defensively, right, and you just let's just say you just go to props.cash, you click on forwards, okay. These are some of the some of the players that they've gone against lately that I would call high impact players, right? Players that are going to be heavily involved in what they do. Alicia Gray, under her 20.5 points plus assists. Ryan Howard, under her 20.5 points plus assists. Ariel Atkins, under her points plus assists. Bria Hartley, under. Marina Mabry, under. Kelsey Plum, under. Tarika Hamby, under. Jackie Young, under. Only went over Asia Wilson. Chelsea Gray under, right? And then there's another one where she went under. They're just too good defensively. So to me, if you find something like that, it would definitely always be an under going against a team like the Valkyries, unless it's a team like, the Sparks, who just don't play any goddamn defense. They're just going to get the ball up and down and run their pick and roll action.
That game is tomorrow. We get that terrible defense from the Sparks tomorrow. But Coach James Young, we had today, and we have him again on Thursday. Thank you so much, Coach, for joining the show. I've got to get to Grandma's house, so I've got to go do some prop queen edges now in MLB. But great to have you.
Hey, my bad. I'm gonna do.
Are you gonna? Okay, are we going over or under 5:30 on Thursday?
Watch this. I'm gonna put in my head 5:20, so then I'll be there by 5:30.
All right, I'm gonna have to chat, take a poll. Over or under? Coach makes it 5:30. Over means that he goes over 5:30. Under, he
Michael, AUD, J-Rod, all of y'all back me up. Please.
Dads and dumbbells.
By the way, really quick, I saw before, J-Rod, you went Liberty, Aces, Storm, Parlay. Love that shit. Love all three.